everything. And everyone. You became... There is no forgiving you. You chose! I chose. You are cruel and arrogant and selfish. But you are more than that. You have always been more than what others saw. You are more than that.
Man, what a scene. Christopher Judge really earned that super long acceptance speech. Anyway, let's review an action figure. So this is the Godslayer from Sigma Studios, but we know who it really is. It's Kratos. Specifically, God of War 1 Kratos, and we have not gotten this version of him in a very, very long time. I know, because I've got him right here. I love God of War. Like the scale, the violence, there was just like not really anything like it at the time. And I'm really glad that we got that remake trilogy coming out, because now more people will get to experience the insanity. Now, let's open this box. All right, here he is, and he is looking great. I cannot wait to play with this guy. Let's do that now. So immediately what I want to say is that I'm just thrilled to have this version of Kratos with modern articulation. We got double jointed everything. We got pretty good crunch, forward and back, especially back. Like you can really get those like bringing the blades back poses perfectly. He can look up really well, so he can really be like, you know, coming at you. Yeah, the hip joints are pretty good. I mean, like he can kick up really far. Sometimes they get a little stuck. I think it just kind of rubs on the, what do you call this? Like the diaper piece, whatever it is. Sometimes they rub a little bit on that. So you kind of just have to work it a little bit, get it in the position you want. But yeah, and we got toe hinge. So like pretty much every classic pose that you would want, you can definitely get him into. All right, stand you up there, buddy. So let's take a look at these accessories and see how they interact with the figure. So Kratos is known for having these chains wrapped around his arm, as you can see here in this older figure. So why doesn't this one have chains wrapped around his arm? Because there's magnets. Look at this. Let me get this closer. And you can just wrap the chain around his arm however you want it. How cool is that? I did a crappy job. Let me fix that. Look at that. It looks awesome. You just have to put a little effort in to kind of get some spacing between, you know, each wrap around the arm, but it looks so good. And what a great idea, right? Like anytime magnets are inside of a figure, you know you're going to have a good time. And the actual blades, which, how'd this happen? Oh yeah, these have magnets in them too. That's probably why they're all, here, hold on. So, you know, usually I'm not a fan of when character designs have weapons that just magnetize to a character's back, but I respect that they just literally replicated that for the figure. They're a little floppy, but as long as you position them and then take your photo, you're good. Or, you know, if you put them in a display, the only time that they flop around a little bit is if you're actually moving the figure around. It's not a big deal. You just make your adjustment after you put him down. One thing I gotta respect for the Nika Kratos is that they made a little scabbard for them so that when you put them on his back, it has that kind of wrapped chain look. I thought that was pretty cool. So we've also got Blades of Chaos that have the chain on them. So if I take this off, I can do the same thing, just wrap it around. Oh wait, you know what? We need a gripping hand on first. So let's pull a hand off. That is not, I hate when there's like that kind of, almost sounds like it's breaking sound when you're pulling hands off. So that could be a little better. Let's get that on there. I did heat these hands up because I heard that some people had some breakage with this figure, so be careful if you pick it up for yourself. That went on pretty nice though. So what I'm gonna do is, let's actually get this into his hand first. Work it in there, there we go. So let's give the chain a little bit of slack and then wrap it around. I mean, come on, man, how cool is that? The only other God of War figure that you're able to get this look with was the Play Arts Kratos, which I do not have anymore. That was a pretty cool figure, and they executed on the chains and the weapons in a cool way. All right, let's do the other one now. Get this off. I'm trying to, Jesus, I'm trying to pull straight from the arm to put as little stress on the peg as possible. Because I do not want those to break. This guy did not come with extra wrist joints. Get you back on camera there. Pop that on. At least, yeah, definitely once you heat the hands up, they go on pretty easily. It's just taking them off where there's still that kind of uncomfortable snap. Get that other blade in there. And the hands are soft enough where it's pretty easy to just get the weapon in. You kind of have to just work it in a little bit. And then we'll do the same. Get a little bit of slack there. And then let's get you hunched over, buddy. Whoop, head popped off. Actually, you know what? Let's try a head swap. So comes off very easily. Pops on just fine. Nice. We'll go deeper into the accessories in a moment. This is just about kind of first impressions and playing with the figure. And see, the moment you start moving his arms around though, your chain might get all bunched up. So you might just have to fix that a bit after you're done posing. Hell yeah, this is Kratos, absolutely. Oh, he's got a two-handed sword. We should probably check and see if his articulation is up to the task of holding it. I believe this is the Blade of Artemis. I think it was an unlockable weapon in the first game. So nice of them to include that. Let's get this big guy in his hands. And we've got butterfly joints of a sort. So let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, no problem. It's funny, that handle is kind of short for a two-hander, but I'm sure they tried to get it as game accurate as possible. Yeah, he holds it great. Can you bring it forward? Nice. Yep, so big sword, no problem. Which is great because I've got another sword I want him to hold. All right, he's got great articulation. Part swaps are not that bad as long as you heat up the hands, so handling is great. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the quality and quantity of plastic and see if this guy is worth the price. So first, let's look at the figure itself again, with a bit more of a focus on paint and materials. So, paintwork on him is fantastic. Like, especially like, you know, you got the wash on the bandages here. Got very clean paint application for the little gold rings on the shin guards. And yeah, like his tattoo looks great. Skin tone is pretty good. I think I would have liked it maybe a bit more of the like pure white that you see in some of the older ones, especially the, I like how like saturated this one is compared to this one. Especially since with the cloth goods, like the cloth goods are the perfect color. Like I actually like how, like that's really bright. That's how it looks in the game. Here, you know, they did the, they went like super weathered with it. So I don't know, I think I would have liked a bit more continuity from like this sculpted piece to the cloth goods and also just kind of brightening up the white and the red as well. That said though, still very well painted. The only kind of eyesore is these visible joints through the shoulder, but that is what allows him to get like really good range up here super easily. So it's not a bad trade-off. You know, let's get you crouched down so you're on camera again. I really appreciate that toe joint actually lets him crouch. Okay, let's look at his stuff. So there's gripping hands on the figure. We've also got fists and some relaxed hands. I would have liked some, you know, like these type of hands, like, I'm so mad, I'm the god of war. We've also got the alternate head. Actually, I think I have the alternate head on him, but you can see just how great these head sculpts are. Like, really, really nice. The proportions are a little different. Like this is a bit more realistic, I guess, compared to the more like kind of cartoony proportions you see on the Nika ones. I do really like that too. I like the kind of exaggerated, more long face, but this looks really good. This looks like young Kratos from that scene where old Kratos is talking to himself. We've also got a cool lightning bolt. since that was a power in the first game. You could throw lightning bolts. And we got these chains, which we already looked at. And we have two sets of Blades of Chaos. We have the ones with the chain attached and the ones without. Now these look really good. I mean, these are, just to compare to the Bro Toys ones, which I wired the chains on the Bro Toys ones, but that is pretty close in quality. Like you can see a little bit more detail and shine on these because they're using, I forgot what that new technique is called. But these still look really, really good. And we got the Blade of Artemis, which looks fantastic. Really nicely painted. I love when blades have kind of more of a dull gray and then a shiny edge. Very Berserk Dragon Slayer. Yeah, this looks awesome. So considering the price and what he comes with, I think this guy is a great value. All right, let's scale him up with some other figures, starting with other Kratoses. So putting together like a God of War timeline is not going to work with this guy if you are using the older NECA figures. The two on the left here are much taller. I think those are based off of like the old idea from the games that Kratos is supposed to be like 8 feet tall or something. But it is cool seeing them all together, and he scales really well with the Bro Toys, which I cared about the most. Here he is with some characters that I just think he looks cool with. We got my custom Dovahkiin on a Savage Crucible body. We've got Thousand Toys Dante, Tears of the Kingdom Link, and Guts. And finally, just some cool characters and creatures that Kratos might encounter, fight, things like that. We got a Savage Crucible Lemurian. We got some Sigma Studios figures, a Minotaur and a Gladiator. Got a Mythic Legion zombie. Got the TB League Medusa, which like actually looks really good next to him. I was worried, like when I first opened that thing, I thought it was way too small, but actually posing it up next to Kratos, she looks perfect. He could totally rip her head off and then use it as a weapon. And we got a Sigma Studios Gold Hilder on the far right there. And we got a big old Meditoys two-headed ogre. And kind of hiding in the shadows there is an Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figure. Now, a funny story with this guy, let's see if I could grab him without knocking anyone over, is this guy's like a bit of a custom paint job. I painted up his armor and gave him a different loincloth and painted that too. And it was funny, when I was done with him, I was like, wait a minute. Did I just make Kratos? So yeah, that was unintentional, but I'm really happy with how it came out. So yeah, Monkey Kratos. All right, let's do some kit bashing. So one of the things I was considering was maybe trying to take off some of the armor pieces on this Kratos and turning them into accessories that I could put on this one, so I could kind of turn him into God of War 3 Kratos. You know, I was thinking like, I'd go ham and like cut these off and hollow them out, and then I could like slide them on to those legs. But honestly, this company has already announced a throne and chests, so I don't think they're stopping on God of War stuff anytime soon. So I'm just gonna see if they decide to make their own God of War 3 Kratos before I absolutely ruin this older figure. But speaking of older figures, I've got some really fun accessories out that I want to try out on this guy. So here's the easy one first. Blade of Olympus. Let's try it out on him. I am expecting that he will have no problem holding that. Slide that on. Yep, good to go. So if you've got this laying around, this sword comes from this Kratos. I actually grabbed him at Quake Collectibles in like a $5 fodder bin. That is what I would recommend, you know, and check your stores, see if maybe there's one of those laying around. I don't know what the aftermarket price of that guy is, but probably not worth it if you just want the sword. So like what we're looking at here would be like Kratos in God of War 2 using the sword right before Zeus stabs him because he doesn't have the tummy scar. I've also got these guys from God of War 3. Very cool set of weapons. Let's see if they fit on him. Oops. Huh. I didn't know you could do that. That didn't break, did it? No. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Especially for an old NECA accessory. They thought that through. Okay. Let's try these on. So there's no handle inside, so you just kind of put them on there. These are meant to grip onto these arms. So like the chains kind of give you that friction. So not an immediate compatibility, but You could probably fudge it a bit, you know, just keep his arms up. Oh no. Professional action figure reviewer. Yeah, so it can work. Also, the lightning bolt looks pretty good with the Tamashii lightning effect. So if you wanted to kind of add a little flair to a throwing a lightning bolt pose, you could do that. And finally, what I'm most excited about is these crazy things. So see the chain in there? That is friggin' awesome, right? These two came with this Kratos, this older one. I mean, what a cool effect, right? So there are these pegs on here that plugged into the arms to kind of stabilize them, and then you would obviously run them through his hand too. So I'm curious if not only can this Kratos hold him, but also, so like the original toy, you kind of put the blades in here, like this. I'm curious if these separated ones might fit. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's see if he will hold these well. So if we get this into his hand, just kind of work it in like anything else. Whoop. Oh dear. Got that in his hand. That's looking pretty good. The hell did that go? Yeah, that tucks in pretty well. Not perfectly, of course, because it wasn't meant to, but get that out there a little bit. Yes. Oh, cool. Look at that. That is awesome. So you'll definitely need something to stabilize it a little bit. Yeah, just kind of push it down a little farther. You can actually hold on to it pretty well. Ah, that is so cool. I really hope I'm cutting to some B-roll right now of me just going nuts with these, because this makes me so happy. I'm so glad that I waited to try this on camera. Of course, like I showed, there's two of them. Look at how cool this accessory is. This is from an incredibly old figure, and it looks amazing still. I guess to like get the full effect, you'd probably grab one of the regular chains and wrap it around there. So good. I'm so happy that this works. Ah, crap. I'm having so much fun with this guy. I am so happy that... Damn it. There we go. There we go. That is so cool. I am so happy that he works with all this stuff. I'm going to have so much fun with my B-roll for this video. All right, as always, we will wrap up by putting this ball of rage into the case. Man, he looks cool, doesn't he? Anyway, let's get him in there. So, I've actually separated out my gladiators and such from the barbarians. So they are down here. And it's a little sparse right now, but I got lots of gladiators coming in. So I figured it made sense to start setting things up now. Got Kratos back there. All right, there he is. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy the video on screen right now.